looks lots of water.
It looks bad. Or if desperate, use the sewer or swim in the canal to reposition. Map will be bad. So we're at 2 out of 3 are bad so far.
By the way, all this smoke you guys are seeing, oh, it's so pretty. Hope you enjoy having 100 fewer FPS on this map, because Treyarch loves smoke, fire, and ruining your performance when they do it. So. We are live. Welcome, boys and girls, to the Dropshot Call of Duty podcast, episode number 462. I just saw this, so I'm going to shout it out now. Sorry, it didn't appear in my activity feed. I've received it. Patios, with a super chat of 50 Canadian dollars. That's why I didn't see it, because it didn't work. Thanks, slobs. Hippo character sitting into an office chair when they both transform into a mecha chair / hippo hero. I've got it. Pat!
Wow.
That's incredible. Thank you very much, King, for the 50 Canadian and or 659 USD. We appreciate that. Very kind of you.
Thanks,
sorry,
Pat.
I didn't shout you out earlier. I just saw it because the overlay is ass and this program is ass and this game is ass. We'll get into it. Welcome to the show. Today, and thank you again, Tanner and I are going to be talking about Call of Duty. So, this week, very light. And you're going to hear that again for the next 3 of them, probably. 3 or 4. I think 3, because by the time we're a week out, it should get fairly hype and interesting, because we'll be close to BO6, of course, which is in 28 days. But this week, next Thursday, the Thursday after that, maybe the Thursday after that one, gonna be kind of ass 100 emoji. But nonetheless, we do have some stuff to talk about today and a lot on BO6, which I'm excited to get into. So before we do that, we will have a couple of announcements. Some new patron, change it, more of you join. We did some bonus eps. We'll talk about those at the end, and we got some support that we will also talk about at the end. So thank you very much, Pat. And then, stick around for the announcements at the end. And with that, let's get into the topic of today's show. Again, not much to talk about. There was a patch to Warzone, which we will cover now, but was not very substantial. So we'll get into it. There were some bug fixes. When was the 18th? Yeah, we covered that. Okay. Basically, the only thing that happened was on Tuesday, the 24th, they did round 2 of nerfs to the DTIR, which is the meta battle rifle.
They did.
And what they did was give it some more recoil. So, increased recoil gun kick to 32 degrees per S. I don't know what that could possibly mean. Up from 27.5 degrees per S. So I don't know what metric that is. I can tell you it's not very much. And then they also increased the recoil of 3 of the barrels and 2 of the stocks by a little bit, between 3 and 4%, with the exception of the fixer long barrel, which was increased recoil by 8%. Now, does this gun have recoil now? Sure doesn't. Does this change anything? Sure doesn't. No. It's still just as easy to hit bullets.
Yeah, I mean, they added like 4% more recoil on a gun that didn't have any before, so it basically still has none.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 4% of 0 is still 0. So it really does feel exactly the same. I was playing with this gun right before the nerf, and then update requires restart. Got it. Cuss word, change it. Activision for BO6, please. I know they won't.
Curse
and then
word.
I played right after. And also, shout out to Susan Sarandon for that. YouTube. I also played, and I didn't notice like a single difference. I didn't change the build at all. Just as easy to hit shots. Now, to be fair, I'm on controller now, so that's maybe part of it. But even the K-Band people, like
very
Tanner,
easy. Very, very
idiot. still, don't notice anything. So still not enough. It's still the best option, but it's not like disgusting, super giga gross unless someone's quite good. You will notice you die quite fast if they literally don't miss a bullet, but I don't know. It's fine, I guess. So anyway, whatever, that happened. And then they did some bug fixes, none of which I'm going to read or are particularly relevant. A lot of stuff to do with the purgatory mode. So
well, there was the tac stance grip too.
Oh, that's right. Yes. So yeah, the Bracefire HC grip fixed an issue allowing players to toggle tac stance, enabling unintended movement speeds. So yeah, you guys probably saw them on Twitter going around, or TikTok, that this new underbarrel that you can put on LMGs to give you the ability to sprint and fire at the same time. You could toggle tac stance with that attachment on a gun. So in tac stance, you would move way faster than evidently you were intended to. Now the way it works, which was the original goal, is that if you have that attachment, when you hold ADS, you basically enter tac stance. So you can't toggle tac stance on and off. You're just stuck with it. So it's not like double dipped tac stance like it was before. So that gun's probably not good at all now.
Well, I think also it's not as good of tac stance as you get when you swap into tac stance, right? Because I picked one of the ground loot guns up since they made this change, and it wasn't full tac stance, it appeared. Didn't seem that way.
It looks like weird when
it's
you
like
ADS.
Something in between the two, so it's terrible.
It's just shit's ass 100 emoji. So yeah, cool little idea for an attachment. It's just it's just not good right now, evidently. So anyway, and that was pretty much it. So that's what's changed this week with the current video game we have, as we've been telling you guys. It's going to be real slow until BO6 comes out. However, we do have a as well from
we've got
Raven
the tweet.
Software. Yeah,
we do have a tweet.
So Raven tweeted this today, actually. While we draw closer to BO6 and make preparations for the future of Warzone, we will be consolidating the current playlist selection starting today into the following: BR solos and BR quads, Resurgence duos, and Resurgence quads. Plunder, Boot Camp, and LTMs will also remain available. And as previously announced, trios will continue to be available via ranked play, with the current season ending on Thursday, October 17th. We look forward to sharing more details in the future. So normally we don't cover, playlist updates because who cares? But in this case, pretty weird that if you want to play big map, you're either playing solos or quads. Got it. And if you're playing Resurgence, you're either playing duos or quads or ranked play. Got that also. And then they say they're going to share more details in the future, and this is all going to get upended on October 17th.
People are furious.
Which is when the ranked season ends. But yeah, it's pretty crazy to not have a standard trios mode, frankly.
So this tweet has 1,000 likes on it, 1.6 thousand comments. That's how you know people are furious.
Yeah.
1.6 thousand comments. Wow. So, people are pretty pissed off by this because, one, I can confirm with you, Resurgence solos is not good. Not good, not fun, not playable. It is probably the worst player count for Resurgence. Really bad. So that's just bad. And the worst part is duos and quads will be on a rotation for the foreseeable future, which means Fortune's Keep is in there.
Right.
So you have to try to get Rebirth or Vondel, whatever you want to play, because I know none of you listening want to play Fortune's Keep, because that'd be insane if you do.
And unsubscribe from this podcast if you like Fortune's Keep.
And then same thing with BR. Like BR duos, trios is fun, but we just have solos and quads. I mean, just like, it's crazy. So people are really, really mad about this. They're getting absolutely torched. Because it kind of just comes down to, why not explain what the hell you're doing then? Because you're obviously something's going on internally. Why not just say, like, whether it's, there are like 400 people playing the game, so we're going to reduce the player counts, or if like they're really actually preparing for something. It's just them changing it in this way and then just not explaining anything just makes everything worse. So yeah, really bad, really bad stuff going on there.
Yeah, I mean it's cringe, but I also like don't care that much. Just random fill, especially if you're playing Resurgence. Like, who cares? But for big map, that actually is kind of trash. That there's no
it's just
trios
more
or duos.
I mean, just take Fortune's Keep out. Even just have like Rebirth quads should just be in there. That should just be one of them. If they're really gonna cut it down that much, Rebirth quads should probably just stay in there. Or
Yeah,
trios,
I wonder
something.
what. That's a good point too. Why do we need to consolidate so heavily randomly?
I don't know.
Like,
I checked the Steam charts the other day. The Steam charts have been about the same for like last 3 months. I mean, on Steam, the average player count has been around 68, 70,000, which isn't bad this late in the game, and that's only on Steam. So
yeah,
there's enough people playing the game.
there
I don't
are
really
for
know.
sure enough people. That's why it's just so weird to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They've been doing this for years now. It's really annoying, but it is what it is, I suppose.
Because also we haven't had like BR duos for like 3 weeks already now or something like that. And we don't know how long this is in effect for, by the way. So that's kind of the other thing. Because we know ranked is ending on...
Yeah, you're right. Never mind. Go ahead.
We know ranked is ending on October 17th. That's supposed to be when a mid-season update comes out or something like that. Don't know what else is happening though. We have no clue. So is this changing on October 17th too? It doesn't really sound like it. We don't know what's going on. But then in Discord we started talking about like this in general and then the launch of Warzone when BO6 integrates. And they never confirmed when the integration is taking place, did they? They just said post multiplayer.
I think it,
because everyone in Discord thought there was no date,
but we didn't know if it was launch of season 1 or mid season 1. I think that was the confusion, but I'm pretty sure they said.
Did they say a date for season 1 then?
No, I think they
because none of us
like
thought they did.
Early 2025 or something like that.
Because what if it's something weird, by the way, where like NPR brought this up, and it actually kind of might make sense. What if they're actually starting season 1 and integrating Warzone really early this year? Like what if we're getting the integration a week or two after multiplayer launches? And so that's why they're doing these things now for some reason, is because, I don't know, they have to prepare whatever. And then, because I mean, maybe we'll have Warzone season 1 with like Area 99 and all that like the first week of November.
I would be extremely surprised.
But also you have to remember Warzone now has its own mastery camo grind. So it'd be kind of weird if like you can't start the Warzone mastery grind until like 2 months after the multiplayer grind. I don't know. It could be the case.
True.
You never know. Because we have no clue what's going on the rest of the season. It kind of like, even with the blog post, it sounded like this season basically ends on October 17th and there's not much else happening, which kind of makes it seem like something big with Warzone will be happening around the launch of BO6.
Well, yeah, I think on October 17th, we're probably going to get some kind of LTM like lead up to BO6 hype event thing. That seems like what's happening there. I think we will get season 1 early this year, like compared to last year, but
yeah,
only by virtue of the game launching earlier than normal, because launching October 25th, it normally launches like late November. So I think as a consequence of that, we're going to get season 1 early for sure, but I don't know if it's going to be so soon after launch. It's possible. I don't see it though. A week, like maybe. I mean, they've had all this time to like polish it or whatever, but I just feel like it's going to launch. There are going to be a ton of issues and they're going to want to fix them. And I'm going to want them to fix them before, well, I don't care, but they launch season 1 or do any other kind of big, huge updates. But I guess.
Well, there are going to be bugs with
wouldn't be contingent on like BO6 multiplayer having issues maybe. So yeah, I don't know. What were you going to say?
Yeah. I mean, like, there's going to be issues when they integrate anyway. So if anything, it would just be better to do it way early, so you could fix a lot of the game breaking things. Because no matter when they launch it, there will be game breaking bugs.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
So
there
pretty much typically is.
Yep.
So yeah, don't be surprised if we get season 1 really early, but I think we'll find out something about that probably around October 17th when ranked play goes away. Because they also didn't fully explain why ranked is only half a season. Just nothing has been explained at all.
True. Yeah. Hopefully we start hearing things soon. Yeah. October 17th, I would imagine they're going to start hyping up whatever they're doing 5 days out from that at like the latest. So that would be the 12th, which would be, 2 weeks on Saturday. Yeah. I don't know. We'll let you guys know, but it's going to be something related to like, hyping up BO6. So with that said, speaking of BO6, we've got a Giga blog post on BO6. Oh, Giga, poor Moon. I was going to say poor Moon, but he kind of brought it on himself. Anyways, Call of Duty BO6 multiplayer, The Road to Launch by Treyarch staff. This is a blog post written on the 24th, which was on Tuesday. And it's pretty big. A lot of words, big words, intimidating words. And I have not read it yet. I wanted to save it for this occasion. Experience it with you guys.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's probably just, kind of fluff. We'll see if the novelist has written this one as well, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
So we'll see if we see some college words here. But I've seen like a couple tweets and all that, but nothing. I haven't dove into it myself. So here's what they say. As we are heads down, working, hyphenate that, towards the launch of BO6 on October 25th, we want to share some updates on multiplayer coming out of our beta. A lot of big words, intimidating words, maps. While our selection of 8 total maps in the beta trended smaller in size and included some of our strike maps, which are playable on 2v2 or 6v6, we recently shared the majority of our 12 core 6s maps at launch are medium-sized. And we covered that tweet, So here's a look at the TAC map for the 8 additional maps coming at launch. So we'll take a look at these. Not going to spend too much time on any of them, but have a couple words to say. So this first one is called Vault. This looks like a good map. I like it a really lot, good map. Actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Clear, bright day, but no sun glare. It doesn't look like a building with streets and cars for cover. This looks like it'll be fun. Yeah.
It's classic. It's 2 outside lanes and
very
mid
classic.
Is a building.
Yep.
Looks good. Vault will be a good one, I think.
Yeah. Next one, Protocol. This is the training facility
course, so it will not be that great.
And it didn't
kind of a
seem
crazy
like it
layout.
would be that great.
Yeah, it seemed like it would be a terrible multiplayer map, but
it's fairly rectangular and it's mostly outside, it looks like, and there's a lot of like ups and downs. So people are just going to have elevation on you like changes. Often. Yeah, which I don't love in a multiplayer map, at least without more cover. We'll have to play it, but I don't have high expectations for that. Next one is Lowtown, which reminds me strongly of Seaside from BO4 from this screenshot. Strongly.
Well,
just the vibe, I mean, not the layout necessarily.
Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah.
But or at all, actually. In fact, it looks ass. Lots of water.
It looks bad. Or if desperate, use the sewer or swim in the canal to reposition. Map will be bad. So we're at 2 out of 3 are bad so far.
By the way, all this smoke you guys are seeing, it's so pretty. Hope you enjoy having 100 fewer FPS on this map, because Treyarch loves smoke, fire, and ruining your performance when they do it. So this map's chalked completely. Next one is called Red Card. It's like dust.
Doesn't look good. The map is a 90-degree angle.
It's a right angle. Yeah.
It's a right
angle map. True. Good point. Looks ass also from this screenshot. Looks like the outside of Interchange, which is not a good thing.
It does look like the Interchange parking lot.
Yeah. So it's not looking great, dude. Okay. Next one is Vorkuta. This looks good. I like it. It's snowy. It's a map. Reminds me very strongly of another one of the BO4 maps, actually. that has a name that I remember. So keep that in mind. Vorkuta is a real place, by the way, isn't it?
I don't know.
Let's fucking Google it. It's a town in Russia, yeah. Oh, it's a real coal mining town. Okay, there you go. Anyway, that looks good. I have pretty high hopes for this one, actually. So.
Really?
Yeah. You don't think this looks good?
Kind of cluttery? No. Doesn't it seem like it's full of clutter and trash?
Not really,
unless like that
honestly.
right side is totally inaccessible.
The right side looks ass.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But
There's
that's
a
like
little
the edge
tunnel.
of the map,
yeah,
I'm
okay.
assuming.
Yeah. This one looks okay.
Yeah.
It looks okay.
Yeah. Yeah, if you can go to that right area, then yeah, this map will be a lot worse for that, but it really doesn't look like
Well, you
can.
definitely can, because there's that big, massive pipe you can walk through, so you can go through. I'm just trying to figure out which area of the TAC map that is.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, yeah. It looks okay.
We'll see, yeah. Next is Subsonic. This looks like the Caldera airfield, kind of.
This map, I swear, has been rumored or leaked for like 3 years now. I swear to God, I remember hearing and seeing screenshots of this map being leaked, like all the way back in Verdansk, it seems like. But anyways, yeah, it's coming out. Okay.
This looks like the worst one so far to me, actually.
What size are they calling this one? They're not saying this is a medium-sized map, right? I guess it doesn't say.
From that overhead view, it looks like it's a tiny-sized map, actually. Yeah. With like one big lane.
It's pretty dang small. Not sure what's going on at mid too. Is that I guess the building you can go in. I hope you can't get on top of that building too. I don't know. It looks whatever.
I mean, well, so we see the jet in the picture, and you see the jet also on the TAC map in like the middle bottom. So
no, it's the top left.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, I think it is that one actually. You're right.
The top left one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that's probably the doors to the building. So this actually
you probably can go in that big building, and probably not on top, hopefully.
Yeah, if you can go inside it, this map might play fine. I don't know.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like great though, so we'll see. Anyway, next one is Payback.
Oh, this one looks kind of interesting.
This one looks like promising.
Maybe
for sure.
some visibility issues, but I like the vibe of it. The TAC map seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, deep in the Bulgarian mountains. Wow, the rogue Black Ops safe house is under attack.
I totally agree with you, by the way. It looks very much like there can be some visibility issues because there's a lot of foliage and shrubbery.
They also say it has various elevations, windows, and strategic angles throughout. Uh-oh. Nervous about those strategic angles, man. Does that mean there are lots of angles?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. So anyway, and then the last one is Warhead, which is a strike map.
Received that. This is the bad version of Nuketown.
I mean, it's
shit looks ass.
Playing this 6v6 would just be absurd. Like even worse than Shipment. Look how small it is. Yeah, this is a horrific idea. For 2s it would be fine, but for 6s it looks miserable. Yeah. So, okay.
It looks really bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
So honestly, out of all these,
great looking, yeah.
Vault looks really good. Protocol looks bad. Lowdown
really good.
Lowdown might be okay, but the water might make it bad because it seems to be.
It looks
I can't
pretty
tell where the
ass
water
to me,
is
man.
at. Can't tell how much water. It's probably going to be ass. Red Car definitely looks ass. The snow map looks okay. Subsonic might be okay. Payback looks good. Warhead will be bad. Not looking great.
Yeah.
Game might have like 4 maps that are actually good on launch, and then the other ones will be or bad.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
Not a great list.
Not a great list, but to be fair, we're looking at like TAC maps with one screenshot. So
yeah.
And even once we play it, our opinions will change over time, probably. So we'll see. But I mean, to be fair to us, though, when we look at these blog posts lately and they show us this picture where it says like, oh, here's one screenshot or 3 or whatever, and here's a TAC map overview. We're actually usually pretty good about calling whether they'll be good or not. Not always, but you know. Anyway, we'll see. But moving on from that. Note, all images are work in progress. Okay. And then they yap a lot more and say things
They changed the spawns. That's cool. Got
Here's an interesting note. We're also evaluating some changes to cover placement across multiple maps, including some of our beta maps, which we'll be able to share more details on closer to launch. That's good too, because there are certain like I can imagine a map that's really bad because a particular lane is just not traversable because there isn't enough cover. And then they throw a box in and it just changes the flow and therefore the quality of the entire map. Like literally one box. That's absolutely possible. And the amount of cover and clutter and stuff there is or isn't is a massive factor in how good a map is. So if they're willing to tinker with that, then even some of the beta maps that I hated might get a lot better. Some of them won't, but probably most of them won't. But it's good that they're at least willing to change that more. So that's good. Next is spawns. I'm not reading this because here's what happens with every single COD launch. Spawns are terrible, then they're fine a month later. So they'll be fine. It's respawn multiplayer. You'll figure it out. So I'm not reading that. Performance, I will read this. Our beta was immensely helpful in identifying and resolving some performance-related issues. Over the course of the beta, we identified several areas that were impacting in-game performance. Some areas where we've made progress on performance include resolving general script errors, okay, addressing issues related to our in-game user interface, as well as overall improvements and fixes to our asset streaming. That's good because I was packet bursting. That's probably related. Smooth game performance is paramount, to the player experience, and we've been able to chase down sources of in-game hitching, and deploy major fixes since the close of the beta. We'll continue to work. Okay, that's good. I was having major hitching because of packet burst, so if they work on that, that's fantastic. Besides the packet bursting, though, by the way, my performance was fun.
It was good, actually.
Yeah,
I think
like the client ran well. It was just like server issues that were making me stutter. So
I probably had better performance than I did, or than I get in MW3 multiplayer right now, which is also good and fine. So yeah, I thought mine was good.
Yeah. So cool. Anyway, moving on. Weapons. Headshot damage. Okay, this will be interesting. We were so excited, don't say so excited, to see our new weapons in the hands of players throughout the beta and are grateful to have plenty of data. Okay. Common piece of feedback we saw was that low headshot damage reduced the impact of skillful play and made it difficult to challenge certain power positions. We agree with these points and are working on adjustments to many weapons to reward players who land multiple headshots during an engagement. With that said, we don't want hit location multipliers to significantly affect the consistency of TTK and BO6, so we'll continue to monitor. Interesting. So basically, they're going to increase headshot damage for a lot of guns. In a game with an already quite fast time to kill. Don't know if I love that.
To reward players who land multiple headshots during an engagement. The fact they specifically say it that way makes it sound like just hitting one gunshot with like any AR or SMG won't change the time to kill, but hitting two or more will change. Which I guess is probably fine. Because there are some guns, I mean, this year where you hit one headshot out of like your 8 bullets that you need in Warzone to kill somebody, and it will reduce your time to kill by like 150 milliseconds.
Yeah.
So
STG was one of them. You could get a 6-shot kill.
This is fine.
At any range, if you got a headshot, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know where I even stand on the headshot stuff anymore. I used to like it and understand it, but like with the flinch this game has, with the aim assist, it's kind of just like, yeah, maybe there shouldn't even be a headshot multiplier in COD anymore. I don't know.
I think I think it's a good point for them to say it makes it difficult to challenge certain power positions. So if someone's head glitching, you kind of do want a headshot multi for that.
Yeah,
like some little rat snaking on satellite. Like, please give me some extra damage.
But the thing is, that doesn't happen because if you remember in Modern Warfare 2, they changed it so bullets come out of the barrel of the gun.
Oh, that's right.
So in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, and also Warzone, you can't head glitch anymore because the bullets come out of the barrel. So we haven't had that issue for the last 2 years. So you're just an idiot, I guess. You forgot that, man. You stupid idiot.
I've been shit slammed. You're right. Yeah. So anyway, Whatever. We'll see what they do. But basically, it sounds like they're just increasing the headshot multi for a lot of guns. So I'm with Tanner. I may or may not be okay with that. I think it'll just depend on the particular gun. So anyway, bullet pen is the next section here, which is another system that we will be improving for launch. In general, players should notice fewer extreme cases of bullets doing far too much damage through certain surfaces, aka wallbang, thanks, while also not penetrating as expected through others. Example, those pesky snipers behind the radar dish on Scud. Oh, I called it satellite, I meant Scud.
Oh,
so you're going to be able to bang the radar dish? That's something I would not expect to be able to bang, actually.
Well,
so that's kind of interesting.
Probably not. Yeah, what is that head glitch people were getting on? Is it actually the radar dish in front of them or just like a railing? What is it?
The radar dish has like a hole in it. So it's either the like edge of the building or the dish itself. Yeah. Depending on where you're being shot from. So
okay.
I do wonder, because I don't know if you remember this, but in Cold War, they had spent a great deal of effort talking about how excited they were for their bullet pen system and the amount of damage you would lose shooting a bullet through a piece of cover would depend not only on the cover you're shooting through, so like plywood versus concrete, for example, but also on the class of gun you're using. So like LMGs would only lose 20% of their damage going through wood, whereas like an SMG would lose 40% or something. I wonder if that also is coming back in BO6, or if everything will lose the same percentage of damage and that you'll only be able to alter that with like FMJ rounds or something. Because I actually liked that different guns could pen more.
Well, they should,
I think that made sense. Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Obviously, yeah. Bigger round. So.
Yeah, it should just be based on the caliber of the gun. Like even like battle rifles, a larger round should just penetrate more than the next battle rifle, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Because there's no real advantage. Battle rifle barely is a class of gun, in my opinion. I don't think it should even be a separate category. Because they're just ARs that are chambered in big bullets, usually, but not always. It's like, okay. I guess like the DTIR fires 30-06. So that's the only one. But I'm pretty sure like right now in Warzone, you can go into the battle rifle category and find a 7.62 gun. But also you can go into the assault rifle category and find a 7.62 gun. So what makes one a battle rifle versus an assault rifle? I don't know. I could be wrong about that. But anyways, whatever. We will see about bullet pen. It's not a huge deal either way. So anyway. And then more to come. Of course, we continue to review data and feedback regarding general weapon feel and tuning. And we're always keeping tabs on overall weapon balance in the context of our entire map pool. That's weird. It's weird to talk about weapon balance in the context of the map pool. I don't know what to take from that. Why would they say that? Isn't that a weird thing to say?
Well, they explain it, so just keep reading.
Got it.
They claim they explain it.
Okay. Some specific changes coming at launch include improvements to fluidity of sniper ADS. Oh, the classic Treyarch, you're here and then you're in and it's really janky and awkward. So, anyway. Jake! Yes, I do. That's not what I was talking about. Anyway. Improved fluidity when swapping weapons during sprint and tac sprint. We're excited about this one! Exclamation point. Okay. Reduction of weapon motion during crouch transitions. Okay. Small lift to shotguns and targeted adjustments across all weapons to keep SMGs from overperforming relative to other classes. That's a good change. Weapon balance is an ongoing process and something we're working towards, and then words. Okay. So nothing that crazy there, but cool, I guess. I don't know. Shotguns were terrible in the movement, though, by the way.
Yeah, the guns and like movement was a little bad in the beta too. Like the gun bobbing was a lot. It seemed like there was always just unnecessary movement, which doesn't ultimately matter. It just felt like there was way more than in other COD games, like where it seems like you're running and like your gun's just almost in place. This, like every transition you did, it felt like when you turned, crouched up and down, the gun just moved a lot on your screen. And it could, I guess, be distracting, but regardless, I'm glad they're changing a lot of that.
Yeah. These all sound fine to me for sure. Like, yeah. So anyway, next section is movement. I hate, these guys are way too excited. We were blown away by all your beta gameplay clips and Omni movement highlights. By the way,
Omni movement.
Genuinely, kudos to Treyarch for not mentioning Omni movement in the first paragraph. I'm shocked they didn't, actually.
Yeah. Let's actually do it. Wow. It's only in this whole article twice.
That's insane. I thought
that's
they
crazy
would never
work for
shut
them.
the hell up about it.
Give them a round of applause, guys.
Yeah.
That is wild. Crazy shit there. Good job.
Yeah, that's wild. So anyway, including the awesome action hero moments you were able to pull off! Exclamation point. Okay. This is definitely not the guy that wrote the zombies blog post, by the way.
It's not.
Immediately obvious this is not that guy, yeah. He's not that guy, pal. Or she. Or Zim. Anyway. We're currently working to dial in some additional updates to improve fluidity and allow players to tune their sprint behavior to their individual playstyle. Okay, so I'm going to read all of these because movement's important. Movement updates, and then there's some bullet points, some of which are filled in bullets, some of which are not. So, those are, I guess, like sub points, but they didn't indent them. Okay. Continued improvements to animation. It's confusing. Fluidity and fidelity throughout. We identified several areas for improvement to our third-person animation fidelity. I don't care about third-person. Adjustments to slide for improved predictability and fluidity. During weekend 2 of the beta, we increased the time before you could enter supine during a slide. And supine is just like laying on your back. After further assessment based on your feedback, we've reduced that time to find a nice middle ground between where we were in beta weekend 1 and weekend 2. Okay. This is really good. And that's kind of exactly what Tanner and I had wanted. Because it was a little too fast, I think, early on, maybe. When you could just like dive and immediately start standing again. Because then people are just going to dive every corner, and that's going to be really annoying and hard to track and busted. And it would also defeat the purpose of ever like jumping or sliding. You want there to be a use case for all three. I'd like to take a corner. But anyway, yeah, that's and then they nerfed it, and then I guess they had made it a little too punishing to dive because it took forever to stand up. So now it's going to be somewhere in the middle of pre-nerf and post-nerf transition time, which is probably good. It's probably about where we'd all want it. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Reduce the minimum time to slide after sprinting to prevent accidentally crouching when intending to slide, also known as a dead slide.
Very
Gigantic,
good.
Massive W, dude. Let me instantly slide if my character's moving. Instantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not quite what we're getting, but this is a really good change because nothing is worse than dead sliding. It is the most annoying, jarring, not fluid, tilting, frustrating, you'll die every time when it happens thing that can happen to you. So the less that can happen, because you can start the slide sooner after moving, the better. Really good. Really happy with that. Really happy with that.
Yeah, I was dead sliding a lot, but also just takes a little bit to get used to a new game. So that's kind of how I took it. But yeah, that's good.
Yeah, this is really, 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 really good. So, and then a slight reduction to the maximum slide duration. You can't slide quite as far.
Yeah,
I think that's probably fine. And then
by the way, for the first section that you kind of skipped about third person, I think what they were trying to explain in the second part of that, they say our goal is that what you see in first person is representative of what others see in third person in order to maintain immersion and predictability. So I think what they were saying is like what your character was doing on your screen was not always the same as how your character looked, which could actually be extremely important. Maybe if I'm taking it that way, if it comes to things like, I mean, that could even maybe affect hit reg almost if something is off, where on your screen, it looks like some guy is not behind the wall yet, but on his screen he's fully behind. Maybe something to do with that, because that seemed to happen quite a few times.
I think you're right, and this does happen a lot. So if you have ever cameraed someone in Warzone, right? You slide right past them, you start shooting them. On your screen, they're still looking where you just came from, and then you die. And then you watch the kill cam, and what the guy from his POV was doing is not at all what you saw his character doing. That is genuinely actually quite important, and I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think that is what they meant. So that's good. Yeah, I'll actually read that now. Where was that? We identified several areas for improvement to our third-person animation fidelity across slide, dive, jump, and supine prone. Fidelity meaning, again, what other people are seeing you do are representative of what you are seeing yourself do or intending to do. So that's good. Our goal is that what you see in first person is representative, of what others see in third person in order to maintain immersion and predictability. And the predictability part is what's important, because again, if I slide past someone and on my screen, the guy's still looking where I just came from, I'm thinking this guy's shit and he's about to get shit slammed. He's dead. He's not even looking at me. He can't shoot me. And then all of a sudden he's looking over there and he's still hitting you with bullets, and then you watch the kill cam and that's not what you had. That is really annoying. And if there is enough fidelity there to where on his screen, if he's looking at me, his character's also looking at me, then instead, when I slide that, instead of just like trying to dump the whole mag, I can, whatever, smoke, keep running, keep moving, whatever. Like, it'll actually change how you take fights in certain scenarios. That's the most common one I can think of that's relevant to that point, but that is a good thing. So cool. And then last thing is intelligent movement updates. As a reminder, you can find our suite of intelligent movement settings in the movement tab. Yeah, whatever. These settings are broken down by sprint assist, mantle assist, and crouch assist with the intention of letting you fine tune your experience, with the result of requiring drastically fewer inputs with basic movement and omni movement in Black Ops 6. We identified an issue in the beta with the additional settings for mantle assist that allows for further tuning of directional mantles. These have been resolved and should now behave as expected. So nothing really there. But once again, as a reminder, in case you guys forget by the time the game launches, turn off mantle assist and crouch assist for sure. You want to be in control of what your character is doing, and you will lose gunfights if you have mantle assist on, because you're going to jump within 6 feet of a box and you're going to think you're going to keep shooting. Wrong. Treyarch especially loves to do this. You will teleport and mantle that box and you will lose the gunfight because of it all the time. And it's the worst in Treyarch games. So do not turn on mantle assist. Do not turn on crouch assist either. Leave them off. But sprint assist is just the new name for auto tac sprint, which you should turn on if you're on controller.
Yeah.
Especially if you're on controller. So anyway, that's that. And then, and a few more is the next section. While we'll be sharing a more comprehensive list in our launch patch notes, we wanted to give you a quick taste of a few changes coming at launch based on feedback. The winner's circle has a shortened overall duration. Good. To reduce emote spam, players in the circle will now only be able to activate one emote. Okay. Simplify the emote menu and improvements to fill and lighting. Okay, cool. It at least worked every game, so that's cool. It did need to be shorter. That's the biggest thing. By popular demand, we've added a kill counter on your HUD that will track your progress toward kills and one life medals, including those who are chasing the coveted nuclear medal and nuke score streak. So that might be the first confirmation we're getting a nuke, like a callable one. It's not.
It's people call them in the beta, so it's not.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, dozens of times, so I don't know why you said that. It's pretty weird.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah.
Camera motion, and that's what I said. We're reducing overall camera motion on sprint, tac sprint, and slide. That's good.
Yeah.
Less camera bobbing.
Like that.
Yep, that's really good, actually. Kill order. That's the game mode, right? I'm not reading
That's
this.
the bad game mode.
Yeah, don't play that game mode.
That's
There's your patch note. Sleeper agent. This is the field upgrade where you pretend to be on the other team. It's awful, as we expected it to be when we had read about it, by the way. And it sucks. And I died to it. Every single time someone popped it, I was dead. Because I thought it was a teammate, and it wasn't. So anyway, remove the time added when earning eliminations while sleeper agent is active. So it used to work kind of like dead silence in MW19, where you pop it, the duration is say 20 seconds, but if you get a kill in those 20 seconds, it refreshes the duration, so you get 20 seconds again. So in theory, you would have been able to have dead silence up forever. That's, I guess, how sleeper agent worked as well. Not so anymore. Remove the field upgrade entirely, but this is better than nothing. So stim shot has been changed from inventory based to cooldown based by default. Oh, let's go. That's actually crazy. So now you'll have unlimited stims, but there will be a cooldown to use them. Just like in BO4, which I really liked. This is cool. I'm a big fan of this. The problem, however, is this makes it even more of an insta auto pick than any other tactical, which it already kind of was. So I like it, but I was going to use stim shot anyway. But now, like, there's no reason to use anything else unless you're, I don't know, playing Search and you want smokes or something. But I wonder what the cooldown will be. That's the real question.
Or unless stuns end up being like busted OP like MW19.
Which did happen. Yeah.
Probably not, but yeah, I think stims will just be the way to go.
Yeah, for sure. I do wonder especially what the cooldown is, though.
I would guess for multiplayer, it'll probably be fairly long when you consider that it's multiplayer. I would say it's probably 30 seconds, maybe.
Really? Because in BO4, it was like, I think it was like 5. And then if you took that, or no. Yeah, I think it was like 5. And then if you like ran stim shot, it was like 2 or something. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, either way, I think
probably be between, it'll be between like 15 and 45 seconds.
Quartermaster will decrease the cooldown time further of stim shot. And there was an issue. Okay, so perks. This is interesting, although I don't have much to say on it. After assessing perk data from the beta, we made some updates. Assassin and Bruiser have moved from perk 1 slot to perk 2 slot. And then Dexterity and Gung Ho have both moved from perk 2 to perk 1. I'm not familiar enough with the perks to know the impact of this right now. We'll have more to say on launch.
Dang, I thought we had posted the perks in like COD in our Discord and the multiplayer channel, I thought, but we never pinned it. Somebody posted a list of the whole thing. Unfortunately, it appears we did not pin it though. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, even if we had the list, it'd be hard to say right now. So anyway. And then RCXD controls, don't care. Looking to launch. More yapping.
The game's launching.
The game's launching, yeah, that's it. So
at some point, October 25th, that's what I said.
That's what they're saying, yeah.
Wow, we're actually days. Yeah.
We're getting there.
Getting close, man.
There, buddy.
Getting fairly close. Cool.
Yeah, that's the absolute blog post, man. What do you think? Not
good.
Much.
Pretty much good news in there, all of it.
Yeah, it was not
worried about the maps.
A little worried about the maps.
Yeah.
But I don't care too much, honestly, unless they're all just miserable.
Well, you should care.
Like we've been saying,
part of the game. Yeah.
Well, no, because once they drop Nuketown, see ya. Never playing maps again. I'm playing.
If they don't give us Nuketown till like season 2 or something, man.
Tanner. They won't do that.
Because the stupid other map is like mini Nuketown.
I know. No, I know.
So just give us the real thing. I'm so worried about that.
You do be right about that, brother. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that worried though. It's just so early to call right now. And some of these screenshots look good, some of them don't. But whatever, we'll see. Besides that though, everything does sound like a change in a positive direction.
Yeah.
Like literally everything. So that's really good. Because there have been times, of course, when even in this time frame from beta to launch, Infinity Ward loves doing it, where they will have a beta system and then they'll change it in a negative direction before launch. For example, bunny hopping in MW 2. Really strong and fun and good in the beta of MW 2. And then without a word, they trashed it before. I think it was before weekend 2, actually. Or it was before launch, but I'm pretty sure it was from weekend 1 to 2. They just completely ruined B-hopping. Never said anything about it, and then the game launched with it. And then it was a horrific game. A horrific, miserable, trash-ass video game. Yeah. But in this case, unless they did some untold, whatever, sneaky changes, which Treyarch usually doesn't do, actually, because they're usually very meticulous with their patch notes when we get those, we are not in for any negative surprises. So that'll be good.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But anyway, overall, yeah, pretty excited, pretty ready for the game to launch, man. And I'm also pretty ready to get that aim assist discussion that Bro had tweeted about. It was like a Treyarch dev, right? He like replied to JGod or something. Do you remember?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I wonder when we'll get more details on that. I wonder if it'll be before launch.
Well, will we get details on that? That was when the beta was still out. They were talking about that.
He said in the reply, I believe.
Oh, yeah, he did. He did.
That he was like, we will share more soon or something. So, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know, though.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
There's nothing. It doesn't matter what they say. It's already been tested and shown by Hexsmith. It just cuts out at 2.8 meters. So I don't know what else they're really going to say other than it'll be interesting to see if they share like data regarding, you know,
or if they end up doing more to it
or anything,
you know?
Yeah.
Or if it's going to be different from beta to launch. I feel like probably, I don't know. It's a sensitive subject, so they probably want to think a lot and very carefully about what they say for that one. As no one knows better than you and I do.
Yeah.
But anyway. And that's pretty much it. So, yeah. It's a game and it's coming out, but nothing really going on this week for the current one, you know?
Yeah, nothing really.
Yeah.
Halloween mode's still out. That's cool.
Halloween mode is still out, and it's 89 degrees outside right now. Got it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it sure is, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway. So,
95
that's it.
in a few days, yeah.
We will see you guys next week. We do have some announcements. First and foremost, breaking news, Florida Man joins the Dropshot Patreon. Let's fucking go. Oh, I cussed. AKA Emmy, our newest Damascus patron, friend of the pod. Welcome, king and or queen and or person, non-binary, whatever. Great to have you. Very kind of you. Patreon.com/thedropshot. Going straight to the lounge, by the way, which is a based move.
Getting cozy, yeah.
Getting real cozy. Yeah, getting real cozy in the lounge, where the most poppin' Discord channel, of course, is the Damascus Lounge. Join. And thank you very much, Emmy. Now, speaking of the Patreon, we do be doing EPs. So we've already done our behind the scenes. We've already done our Q&A. And just today, when did we record? Yesterday, right? No. Yes?
Yes. I believe so.
We did, yes. So this morning, in fact, our latest Patreon episode for all of our patrons hit the airwaves, and it was about basically season 5, season 6, and a little bit about season 5 and how lacking it was, and I would say mostly about the controller experiment round 2 by me, and just how different and how much more fun the game is when you are playing it on the intended input method. Yeah, so kind of just a yap sesh, honestly. We just
a little yap sesh. Talked about a bunch of things,
a bunch of different
guns,
things,
perks.
Yeah, ran the gamut.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it was a good one though. And then for our last bonus episode this month, so that's now live for all of our patrons. You guys can go listen to that now. And our next Patreon episode will be up to you guys. We did a poll, and it's going to be about Ranked Resurgence. Yeah. So those were the two options. We'll talk some more about Ranked Resurgence, which I played a ton of in Season 5. I've played some of in Season 6, not quite as much because I've been getting used to Roller and because this is easily the sweatiest season by
Shit's
far.
ass, yeah.
At least according to my limited experience, but also everyone on Twitter and Twitch, very unlimited experience. So anyway, we'll talk about that. That'll be dropping on Saturday. So for all of our patrons. And if you're a patron, you also get all of our episodes, everyone, ad-free and early access. And you support the show, which we would love and appreciate. And we need more than one new patron in a week. That's insane. Fix it.
Yeah.
Besides Emmy and current patrons. Patreon.com/Dropshot. Thank you guys for watching and listening. We will be back on Saturday. And I don't think it's going to be this Saturday, but by the way, on a Saturday before BO6 launches, we will be doing MW 3 a year in review. I don't think we did it for MW 2. I don't think I could have done it without being deplatformed.
Well, it'll be a Warzone year.
There would have been.
I haven't played multiplayer since Season 1 Reloaded, but we'll talk about Warzone.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. The MW 3, the integration, all that. Yeah, because I don't think we did it for MW 2. I think Blackwater contractors hired by YouTube would have kicked down my door if we attempted to do that, because I would have had some not nice things to say. But that's not the case this year. There's actually a lot to say that is good. A lot that's not good, to be fair. Let's be clear, but mostly good, actually. So we will do that on a Saturday for sure. Not this Saturday, I don't think.
No,
maybe the following Saturday.
Not.
Maybe the
We'll have
following
to plan
Saturday
it right
after
a lot
that.
for it. So I would say
we're
probably
actually
like
gonna,
2 weeks before the game comes out, probably like the 12th or something. Did you forget these donations too? These two?
No, of course not. I would never forget something like that. So anyway,
yeah.
So yeah, patreon.com/Dropshot. We also got some donations, which is definitely what I was getting to next. Davis N. Your first name is Davis, by the way. Change it. Make it David, please. And also, those two names don't go together, I'm afraid. That's a little mismatch. Davis N.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's.
I'm not. There's some shenanigans, some tomfoolery, perhaps, afoot.
Yeah.
So I don't know
I would
what's
like to
going
see
on
a
there.
selfie of him. Because I'm curious.
Well,
Very curious.
are you?
I am.
Anyway,
Yeah,
whatever.
curious.
So, anyway, Davis, we don't want to
That might be
dox you,
Pie Man.
otherwise we would be explaining more the whatever. He said money for Unk to get a roller with the paddles on the back. W, yeah. And by Unk, he of course means Tanner, who needs one, with a 20 United States dollar offline donation. Thank you, Mr. Davis N. We appreciate that. Tanner doesn't have a controller. That one's broken.
On the back.
No, he needs more money for a controller with the paddles on the back. That one's broken. So, Davis, thank you very much for that contribution, King. We appreciate that. And also, Dubfire. I'm not thanking him, to be fair, because we made a bet. In fact, I'm about to take it to collections. Dubfire, extremely old man, friend of the pod, co-host of the Objective of Battlefield podcast, which may or may not they still be doing. I don't know. There's a lot to talk about right now. Anyways, he made a bet with me naively, stupidly, some would say, that Biffle would not win the World Series of Warzone. Hey, I won that bet easily. Only team on match point, by the way. So he owed me 200 United States dollars. He's paid me 20. So he still owes me $180 because that was in fact the bet. Yes.
Yeah.
So thanks for paying. And even if it was only $20, which you might say it was, you now owe me interest on that $20 because I got it days and days and days after, which I desperately needed. I didn't. Thank you for paying up. It was good doing that bet. It's a shame no one else bet. But yes, Davis, thank you very much. And that's it. So yeah, we will see you guys on Saturday. And not sure what we're going to be doing for this particular Saturday.
I'll figure it out.
But we will figure it out. Yeah. I've been playing a ton, so there's a lot to say for me. But nothing super structured, probably. So either way, love you guys. Appreciate you. Stay humble.
Stay humble.